Give it a second to work. All right, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna start now, even though we're still missing some people. They can just come in as we go. Oh, there's Alex's cat. Even though, yeah, like I said, people just come in as we go along, but this note is pretty long. It's 20 slides, so I do want to try and get through it as quickly as possible. So I'm gonna first I want to talk to you guys about your test. So your test is going to, like I said, it'll open up tomorrow. So you guys will have tomorrow it'll open up after our first daily meeting. So you guys will be able to go under quizzes, and I'll show you like in the daily meeting in the morning where to find it, but you'll be able to go under quizzes. So it's up along the top of the home, like our course homepage, where you see content, discussion, email, Urkind, all of those are up there. And so it says quizzes. So you're going to click on that, and when you click on that, you'll be able to see the Unit 2 test. And then when you click on that, you can click you can click begin basically, or I think it's either begin or start. But don't forget, you're going to have a 2-hour time limit, unless otherwise specified. If you have an IEP or if you've spoken to me about like an appointment or something, that you'll have a 2-hour time limit. But either way, it's not like it's you have to do it from 12:20 to whatever time, because we won't have I don't know if we'll have an afternoon meeting tomorrow, because I want to give you guys time to do your test. But that being said, you guys, it'll open, like I said, it'll unlock, so it'll be available on the quiz application, like on D2L. No, I'm not showing anything on my screen, just talking, Chloe. But it'll be available on D2L from tomorrow morning until, probably I'll make it 48 hours. So either Friday really late or Saturday morning. So you'll have time to do it. Just make sure, like I said, you only get one try and one chance. Obviously, just as if we were in face-to-face, you wouldn't get a second chance to write your test. So make sure that your review is done and it's in front of you and you are like ready to go when you go to write your test. Nathan, I see your hands up.
First of all, about the test, did you say a review? Like, where is that? And like, yeah, I'm kind of confused about that. And
Yes.
And about the other thing today, the thing that was due today, where we have to read from like page 62 to 99, is that due today?
So it's 96 to 99. So it's only 3 pages. And I think I made it due Friday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think I made it.
Yeah, that's what I thought, but somebody keeps telling me that it's not. So okay.
Yeah, I think I made it due on Friday. You'll see along the right side of our D2L page, like where it says calendar, you'll be able to see the due dates.
Yeah, I've seen them, but somebody disagreed with me that I know.
Oh, yeah, well, it's due on Friday. Okay, Mason, what's up?
So yeah, I'm a tad bit late. Did I really miss anything or no?
No, we just were talking about the test that's going to start tomorrow.
All right.
And be open, I said, for 48 hours, basically. Just make sure that when you go to do the test, you're ready. So that way, because you won't get another chance, right? So once you start it, you have to do it. Like you have 2 hours to do it, basically.
All right.
Yes. Alex.
So are we all going to get in a call and do the test, or is it going to be on D2L?
So we'll do our daily meeting. We'll talk about the test. I'll answer any questions you guys have about your review. Any questions that you might have about it. We'll go over, just anything with regards to the test. Make sure everyone's feeling confident, and then you guys, when you are on your own time, like asynchronously, you'll do your test. Like, so I will be available while you're doing your test to answer questions if you have them. Obviously, there's some questions that I won't be able to answer, because just keep in mind, as if we were face to face, it's a test. But yeah, so I'll still be available to answer questions while you're, like, if you choose to do it. Okay. Like, obviously, if you choose to write your test at like midnight on Thursday night, like, I'm not going to be available to answer questions, so try and keep that in mind.
Oh, so we don't have to do it tomorrow?
No, like it'll be open. Like you can choose when you do it, whether it be basically it'll be open from Thursday morning until Saturday morning. So 48 hours.
Oh, okay. So that's
So like if for
better
whatever
than an
reason, like
actual test.
yes, like if it doesn't work, like technology wise, like if you don't have access to your computer during that time, like that way you have more wiggle room.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. Does anybody else have any questions about the test so far? Okay. All right. I'm going to share my screen. So we can go over this super comforting note on premarital sex and STIs. I can't wait. Okay. So obviously, guys, this is religion. So we are going to talk about the Catholic views on this content. Okay. So we're talking about the consequences, obviously, of premarital sex, STIs being one of them. So you'll see on your review that there was a section on the front page that said risks associated or connected with risks of premarital sex. So that's where you're going to get, like, basically these next couple slides are those risks. So as long as you know like a few of them to write them down, then you should be golden. So obvious risks connected with premarital sex or sex as teenagers is STIs, pregnancy scares, possible damaged reputation. Teenagers can be mean, and if that's something that you choose to do, and then it gets around, people can be mean about it. So your reputation can be damaged that way. Obviously, we've talked about it. The likelihood of the person you're dating when you're a teenager or in your high school being the one that you end up marrying is super slim. So it often can lead to breakups, and then obviously conflict with parents. You're still currently living under your parent or guardian's roof, and so that can be a conflict of interest, clearly. Is anybody writing this by hand? Should I wait before I switch to the next slide? Okay, I don't want to go too fast. There's a Knox hair all over me now because he's on my lap. Is somebody's virtual hand up? I can see like the little tiny hand, but if Alex, if that's yours, just click it again so it turns off. So that way, if someone puts their hand up and they have a question, I can see it.
Oh, okay. My bad.
That's okay.
It doesn't. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you. Okay, are we good to move on? Yes, no? Welcome, Lennon. All right. You just woke up for the most exciting course content. So more risks that are connected with teen sex. Obviously, it could possibly bring shame or guilt. Maybe if it's something that, or if it's with somebody that you might regret it and then feel shameful or guilty about it. It is a sin, according to the Ten Commandments and according to our Catholic values. Sex is supposed to be reserved for marriage because the purpose of sex is to procreate, so to have children. And so obviously if it's happening outside of your marital vows, it is a sin. It can, if you're Catholic and you believe in God and you have a relationship with God, that can weaken your relationship with God. We talked about this the other day, that any sin, can either weaken or totally damage your relationship with God, with others, and with yourself. And this is, no different. It can bring about mental health issues, unfortunately, especially like with the aftermath of the act. It is a distraction. It can be preoccupation. So if you have other things going on in life and you're prioritizing things that you shouldn't be prioritizing, then that can lead to being a distraction. And it can also lead to a loss of respect. So you might, again, associate it or connect it to the shame and guilt. If you choose to do that and you do unfortunately feel shameful about, maybe who or the act itself or guilty about it, then that in turn will unfortunately lead to a loss of self-respect, and it can also possibly lead to a loss of respect from other people. So I'm not saying that obviously these are all guaranteed to happen to you. There are risks, just like in anything, that you choose to do, there's going to be risks that are involved. And these are just some of the risks that are connected with having, choosing to have sex as a teen or out of a marriage. So give everyone writing it by hand a minute to jot this down. Did I miss any questions in the chat or no? Keep in mind, guys, like I did show you how to access Microsoft Word and PowerPoint online for free. But if you are able to get Microsoft Word or have a computer or access to a computer that has Microsoft Word or Microsoft PowerPoint, it would make your life so much easier to have it, right? Just because everything that we do, like if we were doing it face to face, I would obviously print them or give you, or we do the notes by hand. So you don't have to worry about having those programs. But with being online and, God forbid, we are online for longer than just 3 weeks, it's going to be really helpful for you to have those programs. Like I said, if you need to access something on D2L, you're going to have to be able to have PowerPoint or Word in order to open it. Like I can, if you need it, I can convert them to PDFs and then email them to you. But that just, is a lot of extra work, for you to have to then email me, and then, I'll make them into PDF documents and then send them to you, and then for you to open those. It just would be a whole lot easier for you if you have those programs. So if you have access to them or the ability to get them, I definitely strongly recommend that you do that, just to make your life easier. Okay. So a few more risks. Hopefully the dog doesn't bark. Connected to teen sex, or it is the end of your adolescence, because it's an adult act, right? So it's an act that is reserved for adults because it's reserved for marriage. And so if you choose to do that as a teen, that is basically ending your adolescence. It can devalue the sexual experience, as Catholics, value and believe that sex is reserved for marriage, because the value of it is to procreate, right? The whole purpose of sex is to procreate, and that is the valuable outcome of that experience. So more often than not, I say 99% of the time, if teens are sexually active, the purpose is not to have kids. They don't want to procreate. And so that would take the value out of basically that experience. And then it could possibly jeopardize future happiness in your marriage one day, or even possibly in your future just relationships. You might end up dating someone and it comes to light or the person that you want to marry, and it might come to light that you have a past where you made some choices that you're not proud of, and that can possibly jeopardize or bring up issues in that relationship. Again, this is not like set in stone that this is going to happen to you if you choose to do this. It's just the risks that are connected to the act. Nah. Chill. You good boy. I'm just giving you guys a couple minutes to jot this down if you're writing it by hand. Okay. Excuse me. So STIs. So what does it stand for? So hopefully you already know this, but it is a sexually transmitted infection, also known as STDs. You might hear that. It's a sexually transmitted disease. So examples of these are HIV or AIDS, chlamydia, herpes, gonorrhea, etc. So as long as you know what it stands for, you should be good. You don't need to know the the examples for all intents and purposes. For life, you should definitely know them, but for our note and our test, you don't need to. All right, so how are they contracted? So you can get these basically by having sex with someone who has an infection. So they are usually passed from person to person. So usually it has to be through vaginal intercourse, but it can also be passed through other means of sexual acts. So one thing that is noteworthy is if they're super common, a lot of people get them, but if you get cold sores. So cold sores, even though they're on your mouth, or usually they show up on your lips, they are a form of herpes. So you can pass that form of herpes to you can pass it through to the other form of herpes, basically, so like through oral sex. So if you have a cold sore and then you choose to do that act, you're risking passing that on, which I don't think too many, it's not a super well-known thing, but it is a risk. Don't forget, this note is also on D2L, as are all of our notes. So if you are writing it by hand, like I said, it's a long note. So if you're writing it by hand and we move too fast or something, and you need to go back and look at it, you can go back and it's on D2L. You can find it there. All right. So STIs can be caused by viruses or bacteria. So STIs caused by viruses. So there, like I said, it's not like every STI can be caused by either. So there's different groups. So you have STIs that are caused by viruses, and then you also have different STIs that are caused by bacteria. So ones that are viruses include like hepatitis B, herpes, HIV, and then HPV. So and you don't have to ask me. So these STIs that are caused by viruses, they're not curable. All right, so think about that. Like you once you have them forever. So similar to cold sores, right? Like I said, cold sores is a good example. It's a form of herpes. So if you get cold sores, you will get them forever. So you might have them under control. Like if you take maybe like a vitamin B complex, you might have them under control. So you very rarely get a flare up, they're called, but you still inevitably have that virus in your body forever. But STIs that are caused by bacteria, including chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis, you can cure those. They can be cured with antibiotics. Okay, good idea, Alex, because it's, like I said, it's a long note. Okay, so can they be prevented and can they be cured? So like I said, we just chatted about that. The ones that are caused by viruses cannot be cured. The ones that are caused by bacteria can be. Yes, so definitely compromises safe sex. So the only way to prevent an STI is obviously to be celibate, so it's not to have sex at all. However, not always the case. So you try to, you have to be safe. So you're always risking, no matter what form of protection you use, to protect against STIs. Basically, all you can do is use the male and female condoms, but you're still risking it either way. But like I said, STIs that are caused by bacteria, they can be cured with antibiotics. The ones that are caused by a virus can never be cured, but people will have their symptoms treated with medication, but inevitably that virus will always be in your body. Okay, so HIV and AIDS, hopefully not something that you guys will ever experience or know anybody who's experiencing this. It's way more common. It was way more common way back when. Now much more preventable and much less common. HIV stands for human immune deficiency virus. So it's basically a virus that you have forever that attacks your immune system. So your immune system is the system in your body that basically protects you from illness. So it fights off illness. So if you have the flu, your immune system is fighting off that virus in order to make you better. So it attacks HIV, then attacks your immune system. So it will then increase your chance of getting all kinds of different diseases, including flu, pneumonia, diarrhea, TBs, tuberculosis, certain types of cancer. So if your immune system isn't functioning at 100%, then you just have a way higher chance of getting sick. So how does one get HIV? So it can be spread, it's spread through blood, so any like reproductive fluid, so semen or vaginal fluid, or it can also be spread from breast milk. So if you have HIV and you're breastfeeding and your baby happens to have a cut in their mouth, they have a chance of getting HIV or getting sick. So you can get it through sharing, through sex, obviously, sharing needles and razors, and breastfeeding. So you can see this little like image where my cursor is. So the red dot represents the virus. So it represents HIV. So if a healthy person has all these nice healthy cells, and then, sorry guys, and then they have the one HIV virus. Yeah, Alex, I can do that. It's on D2L. I'll show you where it is. But you then you get, no problem, you'll get the virus. So then obviously the virus then eventually starts destroying your white T cells and then reproducing. So you can see that it gets more and more, and then eventually your immune system is broken down and your immune system can't fight against the infection anymore, and at that point is when it will turn into AIDS. So HIV almost always can turn in, it can turn into AIDS. So who can get HIV? Obviously anyone. It does not matter who you are, if you're male, female, old, rich, young, poor, any of that. It does not matter at all. Anybody can get it. So at any time, your risk of getting HIV can be increased if you have another sexually transmitted infection. If you have any open sores, like so if you have a cut or any, like if you even have like a, if you've eaten too much acidic fruit or something like pineapple, you might get canker sores in your mouth. I get them from like tomatoes, pineapple. People will get them from anything that has like a high acidic value. And then that is an open sore basically. So if you have any breaks in the mucosal lining, so anywhere where you have that soft tissue. Excuse me. So how do you know if you're infected with it? So a lot of people don't know. Unfortunately, there's no symptoms for many years. So you can have HIV and have no idea that you have it for years and years. Usually the first symptoms are very similar to like other common illnesses. So you might have like your glands and your throat might be swollen. You'll feel tired. You might just feel like you're getting the flu. But different people will have different symptoms. And the only way that you can actually find out that you have it is to do a blood test. So that's not something like, even if you go in for a physical, every year, like what you're supposed to, at your doctors, they don't usually do it with yearly physicals, blood work. So you might be getting your physicals. Your doctor may say, like, as far as we know, you're good to go, but you may possibly still have it. So then, like I said, once the HIV virus has attacked your immune system entirely and it can no longer fight against it, then it turns into AIDS. So AIDS is an acquired immune deficiency syndrome. So to get it, it's the advanced form of HIV. So if HIV is left untreated, so if you, oh, weird, Chloe, I don't know why it would keep kicking you off. It might be an issue with your Wi-Fi. I have no idea because I've changed the settings so people can't kick anybody out of the chat anymore or of the meeting. So if HIV is left untreated, so there's medication for it, obviously, to try and keep it at bay. But if it's left untreated, which often it is because we don't have symptoms for years, your immune system will no longer be able to defend your body from infections, diseases, or cancers. Okay, so we've got some myths. There's some myths about these diseases. So HIV is not spread by talking or shaking hands, working or eating with someone. You can't get it through kissing or hugging, coughing or sneezing. You cannot get it through donating blood because you just can't. Swimming pools, toilet seats. If you have HIV, obviously you cannot donate blood. So there would be no chance of getting that. You cannot get it from sharing bed sheets or sharing towels. If you share food with somebody, or obviously insects and animals, they cannot give you HIV. Okay. So fun. Let me unshare my screen. You did it, guys. That's probably the worst content that we have to cover. But it should be pretty straightforward. Like I said, on your test review, you've seen that you have a section on there that says risks of premarital sex. And so that's where you're going to get that information for that. I think that that's the only thing on your test review from that note. Nathan, the test review is on D2L. So it is on the homepage. I can send you, Chloe, this is recorded, so you can just rewatch the video. I'm going to post it on D2L probably in the next like half an hour under the content page. So if you go to content, you'll see where it will say daily lesson or daily virtual lesson video recording, and it will be by date. So it'll say like daily meeting number 2 and then January 6th or Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. So you can just go on and watch it. So it's okay that you didn't get on and you missed it. It's no problem. So your Unit 2 test review, you can get that also on D2L on the course homepage. So if you go on the homepage, I'm in the middle of like converting your test to online, so I can't show it to you right now. Actually, maybe hang on, I might be able to. I'll just open it in a different page. 1 second, please. And I will show you. Sorry guys, it's taking forever to load. Probably I have 25 things open. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me share my screen with you. All right, can everybody see my screen now? Yes, I hope so. Good. Okay, so if you go on our course homepage, which is right here, there you'll see our daily schedule for today. You have Wednesday, January 6th. And if you scroll down, it goes, like I said, by the hour. So you know we already did our first meeting. You guys already did your reading, hopefully. And then now we're just about finished our second meeting. And then you'll have, after this, you guys will be working on that chart based on the reading, you know, how does love go wrong in the Bible? And you'll have the rest of the day basically to work on that, as well as any outstanding work. Okay, so you'll have the whole, after, right from now, basically until the rest of the day, like you'll have as much time as you need now today to get that reading done. It's only the 3 pages. So if you see how these are hyperlinked, guys, like it shows up blue and everything else is like gray, they're hyperlinked, right? So you can click on them and it will open up a separate page. So this is the reading, right? So once you click on it, it will open up a page and the reading will be there for you. So you can do your reading. And then if you also, over here, if you also click on, when you come down here, so like this is the note, you can click on the note here. This is, you click on this will be the link to the meetings. You click on this, it'll be the chart that you have to complete, which is this one. So it'll download the chart for you. And then you can literally type right in here to complete it and then save it and then upload it to the Dropbox. But if you are looking for stuff, so we did the test review on Monday, I gave it to you guys. So if you scroll down to find Monday, so Monday, January 4th, and you scroll down right here where it says Unit 2 test review, you can click that and it will download it for you. Like I said, it's a Microsoft Word document. So when you click it, you'll see it'll be like, and it downloads it here. So then you can click it. And then here's your test review. So it opens up in a Microsoft Word document. Like I said, that's why I stress that it's important that you guys have those programs. If for some reason you don't have them and you can't get them, I can send you a PDF version of this, but then you won't be able, the only thing with PDF is like here, you can like type right on here if you wanted to, right? Or print it and do it by hand, which I would find easiest because then you don't have to go back and forth between your Word document and your test when you're writing it. So I find it just easier to have it in front of you by hand. However, yeah, with a PDF, you don't have that option to type on here at all, right? So you'd have to do it by hand that way. If you can get those programs, I definitely recommend that you do it. So like I said, everything on here are hyperlinked, right? So you've got your Christ-like love assignment, which is due tomorrow by the end of the day, your moral dilemma activity, which is due today by the end of the day, like end of the day, I mean like 11:59 p.m. And you submit those to the Dropbox.
We have 2 assignments.
What's that? Those assignments, those are from Monday. Like you got those on,
What are those?
You got these before the break.
Oh my God, I don't even know what those are.
We went over these already, a few times this week. Remember Christ-like love assignment, that's where you're coming up with that list of 5 songs and then picking the one that has the 2 characteristics of Christ-like love in it and then doing your write-up. The moral dilemma activity is the one where you have that moral dilemma scenario about 2 girls that work at Lululemon, and then you have the see, judge, act, evaluate steps to go through.
2 girls that work at Lululemon.
Yeah, so that's the scenario. So you've got those.
Wait. Hold on. I have all my work on paper. How do I hand it in?
So if you have it done by hand, then you can just take pictures of it and then upload those to the Dropbox.
Come on, I want to see your dog, Mason. Turn it off, bro.
Anyways, so if you need to access for your test review, notes.
No, I already have the test review. All right,
Okay.
I did that.
All right, Lennon, mute your mic for a second.
Wait. I have one more question.
Yes.
How if I do good on the test, how much should I boost my mark?
If you do good on the test, tests are worth a lot, so it would
A
boost
lot?
quite a bit. Yeah.
Like 50% plus?
It depends. Like if you got like 100% or like 80 on your test, like that's, it'll boost you up quite a bit.
So I won't be failing anymore.
I don't know. I don't teach math. I don't know what, like, I can't say yes or no specifically. I'd have to put it into the program to find out, but.
Okay. Wait, those 2 assignments, those are due today?
The moral dilemma is due today by the end of the day.
Is that the
But
song
the
one?
Christ-like love is due tomorrow. No, the song one's due tomorrow.
What's the more dilemma one?
That's the one with the scenario about the 2 girls that work at Lululemon when the one girl is like stealing and trying to get the other girl to do that. So you go through the see, judge, act, evaluate steps to answer those.
All right, I'm in my mic.
Okay, so Nathan, that's the thing is like you'd have to get the programs. I know that I spoke with your guardian and she said that you have access to them, so just from a different computer. So if you can get access to them from a different computer, if not, I can email. If you email me, I can email you a PDF version of the test review. But like I said, you'd have to do it by hand in that way. But when you're doing the test review, if like Charlie, who lost his binder, if you need links to the notes prior, it's all, if you just scroll down, everything from our weekly schedule from before the break is on here, right? So you have, this week was the December 14th to 18th. So we were only in class together on the Monday. So, moral decision making, that's the chart discussion we did. There's the Good Samaritan note where you're going to find the definitions for prejudice and compassion, as well as Good Samaritan. This is Devin, you were talking about looking for that moral dilemma, the moral decision making model. That's that see, judge, act, evaluate model. And then that was the note on making moral decisions. So remember we went through, we did a moral dilemma about the girl who was pregnant and her boyfriend Kirk, and she didn't tell anybody and she was going to get an abortion. That's all part of that note. But if you scroll down more, so then these are all the other notes like that we did. So here's our first unit or second unit, call to love. So these are the notes from this unit. Okay, so if you need to access those notes when you're doing your Unit 2 test review, they're all still on here. All right, you just have to scroll down quite far. All right. Oops, let me stop sharing my screen. Okay, do you guys have any more questions? Alex, I see your hands up.
Wait, every time I click on the assignment thing, it says error, cannot connect.
Which assignment?
The Lululemon one.
The which one?
The Lululemon one.
Oh, the moral dilemma one? Okay.
Yeah.
Yo, I got a question.
Yes.
Is the Lululemon one the only one that's due today?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let me see. If you click on it from here, Lennon, like the
Yeah, I clicked that and it said error.
Oh, weird. It shouldn't. It should download right away. Like, it opens up.
Yeah, download it for me. It was fine for me.
Yeah, like it opened up for me. So try it again.
It says error, cannot download.
Weird.
Are you on your phone or
That's
like a
tough.
tablet or something?
Nah, I'm on my PC. It says error, cannot download.
Why don't
Interesting.
you just throw your PC? Maybe that'll fix it.
It
What you
should
say?
That'll fix it. Just throw it on the ground. Reboot it. That'll work.
Bro, are you dumb?
Ow,
okay.
frick.
You should be able to see
Yep.
it here as well. Oh, here. I didn't mean to hide that.
My cat scratched me. Like a hard scratch.
All right. So it's also in here. So if you, Lennon, if you go to the content page, like if you go to content and then go to Unit 2, and it's under day 3. So
Wait, hold on. Let me get to that.
yeah, so click content.
Wait, I'm gonna try to reset my D2L. Hold on.
So while we're waiting, we're doing this. Does anybody else have any questions so far about anything? What do you do when you're done everything? If you're done absolutely everything, you're done your test review, you've done all your assignments, you've done your discussion posts and your responses, you've done your chart from today and your readings, then you are good to chill. And then tomorrow at some point, you'll be able to do your test. Or Friday, if you choose.
Okay, my thing downloaded. I'm good.
Okay,
I
you
just
good?
thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, guys. So, what was I doing here? Yeah. So if you guys don't have any more questions for me, then you guys are good to go. You're good to leave the meeting. I'll probably end the meeting, and then you've got some like that chart and the reading to work on. And then if you haven't done your discussion posts and your responses, you can do that. But yeah, that's it. You're good to go. We're done a little bit early, which I'm happy about. Okay, so email me if you have any questions. Goodbye, my friends, and I will see you tomorrow morning.
Peace. I'm out.
Okay, bye.
Oh, Miss Mason. I mean, Miss Kitchen.
Yeah.
Like I said, Miss Mason.
Oh, can you email me that thing that you would email me?
Which, the test review? Or
No.
which thing was it that you need me to email you again?
Never mind. I already got the.
Okay, you're good?
Wait, I'll just message you if I need you to email me anything.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Okay, goodbye.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes, sir. My freaking screen's froze. Woo.